Happy Monday, Sonder family. Welcome to your weekly setup. You have Team Jennifer on the call this morning. I am Jennifer Ogilvy. I'm coming to you from the Dallas, Texas area. We've got a rainy day in store, and I think it might bring us like our third fake fall. So I'm crossing my fingers that we will be getting some cooler weather. Joining me is my amazing co-partner this morning, the other Jennifer, Jennifer Krippner. Good morning,
Good
Jennifer.
morning.
It's so good to see you.
You too.
Jennifer is gonna be, she's here, she's ready, she's got her smile on. She'll be hanging out in the chat. So if you need anything along the way this morning, she will be able to hopefully point you in the right direction. She'll be sharing some links that are important. And yeah, just let us know if you need anything as we're going along. I always want to be sure that I say, well, oh, Alice, I'm getting ready to talk about that. I just played yes, my daughter got married this weekend, and I just played My Girl because that is the lullaby that I sang to her when she was a wee little baby, and that is the song that she danced to with her daddy, and then they came and got me, and I got to finish up the song. So yeah, so I am on cloud nine. I'll be talking about it, and then y'all don't ever have to hear me talk about that again. But I do have a picture to share with you. So yeah, so make sure your chat is set to everyone because that is how we communicate with each other. We like to help one another along our route this morning. So if you have questions for other Silk and Sonder fit, we've got some folks who are tenured family members who know, just what they've tried things. This worked, this didn't work. Maybe this would be the word you're looking for, that kind of stuff. Great support in our Sonder family. So we're going to want to make sure that your chat is set to everyone. And yes, Denise, I love the fall pictures. We're also ready, right? We need fall to be consistent. We had that gain an hour, the fall back hour this weekend. So it's kind of like a good time to like reset. Let's finish this year strong. Yes, we've got our new theme of joy. Let's see. Want to shout out to this personal coaching. If you've been thinking about it, you're not sure, reach out to Silk and Sonder. Hello at silkandsonder.com if you have any questions. But this has been such a game changer, and one of the things you can do when you do this beta thing, if it's something, this might be the Christmas gift to yourself you're looking for. If you have a journal page and you're like, I'm not sure where to get started, this personal coach, you do an intake, it really gets to know you, and it can take that journal page that you might be struggling with. You put it into your questioning, and it'll go find, it takes like what it knows about you and says, maybe consider this, and it will help you think about those journal prompts. I mean, this AI stuff is scary, but it's also pretty stinking amazing. So that, just wanted to shout out to that. Of course, it's a new month, so we have our new stickers. So if you're a sticker person, make sure that you check out the Silk and Sonder stickers. I'm really more of a pen and paper person. I share that often, but I also know that there are so many sticker lovers out there. When we are together, we like to remind each other of our community guidelines. We do create safe spaces, whether we're here or we're in our app. So we do like to remind you of those guidelines, especially number 7 about our times together. We want to, these socials are such great tools to elevate our lives. And because we are connected and we are part of this beautiful online community. And again, I did that shout out to the folks who keep coming back, who set these appointments for themselves, who, we're here, we see familiar names, we get invested in each other's lives. And so we say, keep coming back because it's a way for you to keep your journal fresh for that self accountability, but also to know that you belong here. You are part of the Silk and Sonder family. So just, love that. But there are those guideline reminders. Now be sure that you set your chat to everyone because that's how we will communicate. And I know the chat's been scrolling by. Who's here for the first time? Because the family members want to give you a virtual hug, a welcome. Just drop in that chat and say, hey, I'm here first time, me. Carol is here from Alaska. Carol, it says host a panelist, so you might want to hover over that and change that to everyone so we can all see that. Oh yes, Christine says, keep coming back. It works if you work it. And that I know that tagline. So I love that little borrow from the Al-Anon program. Love that. Let's see here. This month's theme is joy. I love it. I love joy from inside out. And look at this quote. All right, everyone. Fresh start. We're going to have a good day, which will turn into a good week, which will turn into a good year or just a good rest of the year, which turns into a good life. And I am so over the moon about this month's theme of joy. It's my word. It's going to be my word of the month. I'm going to use it every week in my setup. That's how I want to feel. Just joy. But also with this new month, if you were at my monthly setup, I talked about this slide right here. November. I love to think about what the end of the year is looking like in my world and maybe consider what I need to say no to so that my life can better serve me. Do I have some habits that need to be eliminated? Do I have some boundaries that need to be put in place? So I love the idea of thinking about November, especially with the holiday season coming up. What does saying no look like in your life? And I, found this on the Twitter a long time ago. Molly, who is a life coach, says, "Here's how you answer. Thanks for thinking of me, but right now I'm going to decline because my plate is as full as I like. No apologies, no long explanations, and no feelings of guilt." And I was reminded at the monthly setup, somebody said, remember, no is a complete sentence, right? We feel like we have to take so much on, and we don't have to take so much on. And saying no to a very full plate actually provides opportunity for someone else to say yes who may need that in their life. And if we're constantly taking things on, we may be somehow making someone miss out on something that life is supposed to be bringing them their way. So I want you to think about November and how that can just so enhance your life by adding a little bit of no to your life. If you see anything that resonates with you this morning, you're encouraged to grab a screenshot, write it down in your journal. Maybe that's that reminder that you need. Jen says, "Who's ready to set some boundaries?" Boundaries are important, right? As the holidays are coming up, your time, who you're spending people with, how you're taking care of yourself. All righty. So our agenda this morning, we're going to work on our joy mind map. We're going to do that rosebud thorn reflection, and we're going to set up for this week in November. But we're starting with our mind map. And if you're brand new, this is a bonus prompt. You're going to get every single setup. So it's just a deeper dig into how this theme affects you and who you are. So, because it is week one, this is the week we're setting it up. We're going to need 4 spaces. We have 4 weekends and 4 Mondays of weekly setups. You're going to have a different prompt each week. And so I set mine up like that image that you see down there in the bottom. I always love a circle, but you can do a big plus on this page and you've got your 4 quadrants. You can use a blank page in your journal. You can maybe do it. I know Jennifer Krippner last month did her mind map each week on that weekly scratch pad. That is part of your layout. You could just do sticky notes. You could turn to the definition page. You could use the quote page. Our facilitator, our other one of our co-facilitators, Bailey, always says, I do it on the very last page of my journal because then I can find it easily. And so we will introduce these mind maps to you, and you may want to take a screenshot and work on it throughout the week, or you can maybe you'll get it all done now. There's not a time frame with this, but this week number one, joy is about relationships. How do your relationships contribute to your joy? Are there specific qualities or behaviors in others that bring you happiness? How can you cultivate more joyful connection? And so there's what I did. There's my response. And I truly, truly believe that we are created to be on this earth, to be in connection with other human beings, whatever that connection looks like. And so I think relationships are so important. As you are considering this prompt, you might want to think about the different types of relationships you have in your life. And I put a list there of some stuff. So maybe one of those is going to resonate more heavily with you than others. If I think about like, for me, it's family, but it's like my family, like the one I created. And because, my family of origins is a bit broken. So I really think about my relationship and the happiness that I get from the people that are in that family unit, but I also have beautiful friendships. And then I have like my online relationships with folks like you, with my plant stand where we take a plant, leave a plant, those kinds of things. So there's a lot of really cool things that are shared with all of those groups in my life. So I'm going to stop talking and let you work on this, and I'll be back to check in. Let us know kind of the initial things that are bubbling up for you. And I'll be back to see how you're doing in just a few moments, and we'll move on with our rosebud thorn reflection. Thank you for taking a moment to share. I know that our time is so limited, it's kind of hard to get it written and then get it put in the chat. But I love the idea of some evolution. Catherine is talking about like evolving as a couple, and finding ways to keep joy within that relationship. Trixie's shouting out to laughter. So important to do that. Um, yeah, and Trixie shares her husband is dealing with Parkinson's, which means they're both dealing with Parkinson's. And it can be hard to find joyful moments within those kind of health journeys. And it's okay to it's okay to say, joy is not front and center right now. But I want to remind you, I truly believe if you seek it, you will find moments of joy even amidst the tough things, right? Because we're all learning stuff and we know that we don't get out of life unscathed. And I feel that there is space for all of it. There is space for the tough stuff, but there is space for us to be able to look at, where are joyful moments. And if it's hard to find them, then what can I do? How can I empower myself to figure out where joy is? And it might be going back to that mind frame of thinking about November, what needs to go away that is blocking. I mean, there could be this could be a lot of work to do so. But anyway, thanks for considering week 1. Again, it doesn't have to be finished up right now. Not no journal police, nobody's grading this. You might need to bubble along through the week and think about those relationships in your life. So now, if you finished up Rosebud Thorn, or if you're wanting to finish it up in October and you used October for last week, you're going to be on page 56. Otherwise, we're on page 30 in our November journal. And there is the most amazing woman in my life, my daughter, and with her fella. And that was my rose, y'all. I have Rose and I have Bud. The rose is the celebration. The wedding was here. It was great. It was them. It was we had some very non-traditional things, but it was so them and it worked beautifully. So that was the highlight, that it just reflected them. Y'all, we didn't have a wedding cake. We ate beignets because this boy loves him some Louisiana, New Orleans style food. And that was we didn't do a wedding cake and it was perfect. Anyhow, her flowers are beautiful. She was beautiful. She's a beautiful soul. And I just so admire her and I'm so proud of her. So there's my girl. She wore my wedding veil. I refashioned it to work for her. That was very special. Anyhow, and then the bud for me is just this official begin. They've been together forever, but this is like that official beginning of their life together. And then the thorn is the party. The party's over. I don't like parties to end. So that's what I'm leaning into with my thorn. So it's kind of a joyful thorn, right? Woke up this morning, I was like, oh, kind of feeling not so great because it's sad. But yeah, it was so magical. Thank you for indulging me, community, and letting me share that. It's been my bud for months. So thank you for that indulgence. Now, let's think about your week last week. What was great? What are you celebrating? What are those roses and the buds you're looking forward to? We have this holiday season that's kind of kicking off. I want to know if anybody's like looking forward to decorating their home for their holiday that they celebrate. And then the thorns, what didn't go right? What can you throw out to that universe, put it in paper, find what you're supposed to learn from that, and then also share with us. And I'll be back to check in with you in just a moment. Thank you all for allowing one another, with including Team Jennifer, the privilege of a little peep in your life from last week. We had some very beautiful roses, um, a walk to end Alzheimer's, starting a new exercise routine. Decluttering is going well. Alexandria shared it's little, but it was an emotional week and I got through it. And that's my rose, right? So it's about taking a moment to reflect. And we're gonna have all of the things, right? That's what life is. So feel very privileged that we have this safe space to just be there for one another. Somebody said, "Thank you for posting those pictures." Of course, I'm gonna post pictures. Y'all have listened to me dribble on for months, and you're my people, so I had to share. Um, anyhow, and oh goodness, Denise is saying her bud is walking through dementia, and that's what a journey. Oh, it's hard, but yet there's beautiful ways that you can honor your mom, and what a blessing and rose you are as a caregiver. Y'all are amazing. So, okay, so let's go ahead and take this energy into our week. We're going to have a great week. Can't believe we're now looking at that first full week of November. We're going to be working on pages 32 and 33. I have lots of examples for you. So, if you see something, take a picture, grab a screenshot. Let's go over all the sections in this first page, and then I'll give you time to work on it. I want to make sure that I give you time at the end. We're trying to work on your weekly spread a little bit. So, we always like to start with how do we want to feel this week? And that's going to sort of help be our compass, our guide through the week. It can help us question, like, is what I'm doing helping me to get that feeling? Lots of words right here, but also on this page, you may use a quote. You may use a mantra. Maybe it's your word. I've mentioned word of the year. I'm going to use joy every week this month. I've already decided I'm going to fully embrace this theme. So my word this week is going to be joy. So you take what you need. And I am seeing that we want to feel nurtured. We want to feel contentment. Let's see, I'm looking at your words that you're dropping. Keep dropping them. Oh, my little chat is going weird. Tranquil, unburdened, peace, joy. You take what you need. And I love this little moment of saying, okay, this is what I want my word to be: light gratitude. I want to feel confident. What do you have going on? Do you have a big thing? What do you want to feel about that one big thing? You can choose that word. You can choose many words. You can do a word a day. It's all about taking what you want: productive, thriving, confident, gratitude. You want to feel light. You can feel light and feel the light. So keep thinking about thriving. You're putting some great words in there. So let's now take that mindset. This again is our compass, our pointer for a great week. And we're going to start by looking at our major three goals. And I love this mindset for the rest of 24. Okay, let go of what's gone. What are we hanging on to that is not serving us? Do we have some scripts playing in our head? Let's get rid of those, right? Be grateful for what remains. We've got, what? A little under 60 days left. What are we going to do with those 60 days? And then let's think about what's coming. What's down the pipe for 2025? In my house, we're saying 2025 is the year for Jim to thrive because my husband does not feel well hardly ever. He needs two knee replacements and he needs a shoulder surgery. And he's on Medicare as of November 1st. And so that has opened up some financial opportunity for us. So 2025, his year to thrive. That is what I'm looking forward to. We're going to get him fixed up. So think about those goals. And then here's a bunch of different ways you can frame that out. We are huge fans of those SMART goals. So grab a screenshot if you are thinking maybe I need to get a little more um, focused on how I frame out my goals. That is a great tool. A goal that is specific, that is measurable. You know when you've accomplished it. It's attainable. You can do it. If I put run a marathon next week, that's not happening in my life. But if I put walk 5 out of 7 days, that's attainable for Jennifer Ogilvy. It's relevant. It means something, and it's time bound. By the end of the month, I want to have walked 24 days of the month. So you put a time framework with that, and that really helps you set up those goals. You can see other ways. Again, those no goals. What are you eliminating for November? The personal challenge framework, focusing on 3 different categories. We love to do this. It's really easy to have like your that framework, and then you plug in the goal that works for you. And again, really focusing in on maybe your word of the year or the word of the month, that's going to frame your goals out. So let's look at some great examples um, from one another. So you can see here, here's how folks have set these 2 spaces up. I love the weekly 3 major goals, and the feeling the person on the left is lovely. I want to feel lovely, and then to feel more lovely, I will. And then there are the 3 goals to have that word happen. So that's how you can kind of do that tying in. Um, there is revived in the middle, and mind, body, heart, 3 categories with some ideas for attaining feeling revived in my mind, feeling revived in my body, feeling revived in my heart or my soul. And then there on the right are just 3 things that they're focusing on this week. Love this one. This is an oldie. On the left there, more joy and less blah. So I love the idea of your word is more and less than. And then you can see how that's going to happen. Um, the one that you see on the top there, kind of toward the right, so there's a mind, body, soul goal. If you slide over to those to-dos directly affect those goals. So the to-do is not a to-do list per se of all the tasks of the week, but it's how I'm going to number one, have a mindful moment, and there are the things they're going to do. I love that connection. The one right below it, again, 3 categories, and then asking some questions of self in those to-do lists. So like in my home, I want to organize the craft supplies. How can I store my supplies? Where can I store them most effectively? So really kind of leaning into digging into that. Oh, well, thank you, Gloria. Those last 2 are yours. Excellent. Love that. We love to see your pages because then we can grab these great examples. Some more ideas about setting that up. Look at the one over there on the right. Delete, delegate, delight. I love that. And then you can repurpose. So you can see someone is doing a weekly expense tracker here, and also in their word of they've made a screen time tracker. So these are probably a couple of intentions for the month, and this is that accountability piece to make sure those intentions happen. And then there are also weeks where it's your birthday, and that becomes your goal. We're going to take a look at the to-dos now. I am a go 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 kind of person, and I need to lean into resting a little bit better. But this quote made me laugh. Me, I need to take a day to relax. Also, me. I wonder if there's a way I can relax that would be more productive. I just love that feeling of accomplishment. So, just that reminder that if you need some space, maybe you need to think about your to-do list looking like a to think upon list. So maybe you have a to-do list, but also what do you need to be thinking about and considering and slowing down a little bit? Maybe a to-be list is calling your name this week. Just that very reflective moment, right? So that's how maybe we can be more productive with our rest if we reframe what that to-do list looks like. We always shout out to the Eisenhower matrix. The holidays are coming. Y'all might want to start making your holiday season, end of year season Eisenhower matrix so that you can finish that year strong. This could be a whole separate piece of paper with the tasks that you see at hand, the things for finishing out the year strong. And it's just a big, kind of a primary to-do list. The need, want, hope to do is a great way to frame this out. And I neglected to mention, I'm going to go back through all of these while you work on this page, and this is being recorded. So you can always go back to access anything that you see if you happen to miss that. So, again, framing that out with maybe a to-don't list, leaning back into that November mindset. Maybe this is a bingo board because it's just fun to get a bingo. And then every once in a while, I'll throw this out there, a big O to-do list. I have like this primary to-do list. This is on a removable piece of paper. I use that repositional glue stick, so it makes it like a big Post-it note. And it's just this ongoing list of things that might not be needing to be done right now, but I don't want to forget about it. And I want to make sure, because I like the AC filter, right? Change that out once a month. And so I will just keep adding to this list, checking off on this list. When it starts getting really messy, I make a new one. But this kind of transfers with me from month to month. And that's that Scotch repositional glue stick. I wish I got a kickback for that. I love it. You can use it in a number of ways to make any piece of paper into your very own personal Post-it notes. So I always like to shout this one out every now and then. And then we have those habits and activities that are there at the bottom of the page. Now, these can be directly tied into what your to-do list looks like and what your your goals for the week are, or they can be standalone habits and activities. They can also be reflected from that monthly habit tracker that we filled out. And that monthly habit tracker are the things that we kind of want to do most days of the month of November, that big wheel. This one is called habit and activity because sometimes it's just throwing in a reminder like, I'm going to do my errands on Tuesday and Thursday. So you put errands and then you circle Tuesday and Thursday. Let's see what that looks like. So here's how this is set up. Folks do it and all, you can have a goal for each one of these, or you can go without a goal for each one of these. It can be just a straight tracker. The one at the bottom has kind of gamified it. They've done 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then they've circled the days they want some things to happen. It's really up to you. Okay, you don't have to use the space. Look at what this person's done. They've just written monthly habit tracker. So visually, they're seeing that reminder to go check in with their monthly habit tracker. That's what they're focusing on this week. And then the one below that is a completed one. You can see what it looks like at the end of the week. The vitamins, they set a goal of 7 days. They accomplished 5 days. That's pretty good. Now they have some data and can say, okay, what happened on Wednesday? What happened on Sunday? Why didn't I do this? And what could I put into place to make that happen? So that this is what these trackers are about, to give you feedback on your life. It's neutral, it's not judgmental. It's just kind of letting you know what's going on. And then you have data to look at and go, oh, I need to change XYZ. And so again, some more examples. You don't have to fill out every line here. Look at the one at the upper right. They're tracking 2 things this week. The one that's on the upper left, notice a night walk with an audiobook. And I love that those 2 activities, 2 habits are paired together. Perhaps the audiobook is a new habit paired with something that's already happening. That's always a very good way to experience success with a new habit, is to put it with something you're already doing, and then you don't check it off until you've done both. That's called habit stacking. James Clear, Atomic Habits, great read, and that comes from him. Here's some feel-good habits for you if you're looking for some ways to bring some joy and some positive energy into your life. And then I also have some inspiration, some other inspiration. So, time for me to stop talking. And then I'm going to go back through all of those slides you just saw. So, if there was something that you want to grab a screenshot of, do it. And then share in the chat what you're doing to your page. Are you repurposing? Are you leaving blank spaces? Why? What's the why behind that? Give us that feedback because it gives us permission to maybe try that in our own journal. And I'll be back to check in on you in a few moments. Okay, good working on this page. I know that our time goes very fast when we are here. So we're going to go ahead and jump over to page the next page. I always say the page two of our setup. So you can kind of finish up the page you're working on while you're listening to me share about the meal plan, the mind body health tracker, the shopping list. And you are invited to use all these spaces just as they are. But I do know that this page tends to get repurposed quite frequently. So we'll be taking a look at some ideas to repurpose this page of our setup. And so you can see here are folks who have used this for their meal plan, but they've used it in different ways that meets the ways that meet their needs. So, kind of tracking foods, leftovers, maybe looking at that idea of tracking, the macros, if that's something that you're really leaning into. So, 3 meal planners, but they all look different. But also, that space is great for a lot of other things, affirmations, daily scripture, daily debrief, lots of different ways. Claire's just dropping, she uses the meal plan for affirmations, and the mind body health is, that's her plan for the decluttering that she is so, jazzed about because it's working, and she's working on that. I do want to shout out to those water droplets. So you can use this for your hydration needs, right? To make sure you're getting those big 8 ounce or those eight drinks of whatever every day, making sure we're hydrated. But I also wanted to remind you that if you consider an 8 hour day and you're doing something like a check in with self to make sure that you're breathing, or you're doing a little calm check, like, am I staying calm? Am I finding joy in the journey? And I'm going to check in with myself each hour. When you check in, you could monitor those hours by coloring in a water droplet because there's actually 8 water droplets. So it could be an hourly check in for kind of that workday mindset of an 8 hour day. So, just like to bring that up every now and then. You can see someone is checking their energy level. They're in the middle. Here is a kind of a reflection this week. The meal plan for the soul. I love that one because it shows up quite frequently. So, reminding you of that. There's some great affirming words that are in that middle one, kind of using that space for the affirmations, like what was mentioned earlier. Again, so many ways. You could do it as a little mini journal reflection, like the one in the very middle there that you see, where you just do this daily reflection. The mind body health plan, maybe you do your main meal in this spot so that you can use the meal plan for something with a little, more words. But here's some other examples of how folks have framed this out. I always use my mind body health plan generally in different ways, but this one is almost like my selfish box. Like, it's what am I going to do for me this week? It could be a bingo board, it could just be a list of things I need to get done, and it'll make me feel good. But you can see how folks have done this. Love the pick one each day in that upper right, like a little menu, and then you go and you choose one, and you can just draw a line to the one that you chose to take care of yourself. Again, I'll go back through all of these examples. Some more things I throw, the get off my butt one there on the bottom right. That one always cracks me up because there are weeks when I forget to go outside and get moving. So sometimes your mind body health plan just needs one little phrase. The shopping list, again, another great space to repurpose if you don't use it for a shopping list. We have a step tracker, we have a calmness scale. Um, I love the make, find, or buy list. You see that one kind of up there in the upper middle, and it was like, I'm gonna find something pumpkin, something for a friend or a significant other, something for the faith, something sexy, something for a hobby. Love that. It could also be where your washi scraps go to die. And there's that little washi scrap parking lot there just to have that tape there. So again, it's always what you need. Thank you. Alice is saying that she's going to do her mind body health in kind of that Huga challenge, that idea of cozy, calm, just that settling in. We love embracing Huga from our Scandinavian friends. The shopping list is going to be a quote. Yes, it is a perfect time of year for Huga. I'm going to turn my AC down to 65 and pretend it's cold. Some more ideas. Maybe you do a little fun bingo board here. Because bingo is just fun. And then finally, what are you loving? What are you loving right now? I am just loving that joy has come to our theme. That's for me. But think about, what are you reading a book? Are you binge watching something that's a little indulgent? Did you find a new recipe? Is there a new product? Or is there something you're looking forward to? What does that bud look like? Why are you excited about that? Write about that. So while we're working on this, we want to know what you're loving as well as how you might repurpose this page. I'm going to go back through all these slides while you work on it, and then we'll close out our time together. Right. Great job on this second page. Now, I want to give you just a moment to take a look at that weekly spread. So, if you'll just turn to the next page and you'll see your Monday through Friday with that scratch pad. And then the next page, of course, has our Saturday and Sunday on that. But I've got a couple of new images from y'all that I wanted to share, and maybe it will inspire how you set these pages up, or maybe part of the page. This one on the left, I don't know if you are here this morning. I can't remember what which social after which social this one was posted, but I love the dots, and they have a little sticker key there in the scratch pad. And so they are doing I am and I feel. They are looking at look how they did the weather. It's their stress level, right? Like, how am I feeling? Am I sunny? Am I cloudy? Am I stormy? I love using that weather bar because I don't really do anything with that. I love that. Like, how am I feeling? And you just equate it to the weather of the day. we've got I am, I feel, and then the next little section is I need to do, I hope to do, and I really should do it. So NHS. And then doing a one small win and someone who made my day reflection. And then what do I need tomorrow? And that could be, physically, that could be emotionally, or it could be like I need to go to the grocery store. So I thought that was a brilliant way to set up that page. Then the next one, love just the embracing of different colors through colored pencils. And then, they've got their daily affirmation there, their priorities, but it's all a little different, but the sections are divided out in ways that serve them for that particular day. So, again, grab a screenshot if you love what you're seeing from our very creative Sonder family. Again, here's a couple more examples. Are you looking for a way to do a brain dump? You didn't quite know where to put it. There you go. There's the affirmation daily wins brain dump. And I love radical acceptance at the bottom. Like what is that looking like in your life? So if there's something, maybe this is the November. You could just write November. And what did you let go of that day? What did you say no to that brings you opportunity by lightening your load? Some other opportunities to set this up. You can turn your journal one quarter turn and look at that beautiful space to do your daily reflection on, right over there on the right. Oh, that's such a good idea. I'm going to put on a smidge of music and go through these slides while you take a look at these, and then we'll finish up together in like 2 minutes. And we always say it, why does this hour go by so much quicker than the hour on the treadmill or the elliptical? Our time together has come to an end. I would love to see any of your setup posted in Sonder Club. It's just, you and we are fortunate as facilitators that we get to grab onto some of those things that you're doing and pardon me, one day share it with our Sonder family. Um, through our times together. Here are those QR codes that we share each week. Jennifer is also dropping direct links in the chat. Sometimes says hyperlinks don't work. It kind of depends on how the Zoom format is set up in your device that you're using. But if you ever have any trouble accessing something, just feel free to do hello@silkandsonder.com and they will be glad to help you with that. There's our playlist for the day, and I just wish you a very, very joy-filled week. Team Jennifer is so grateful for you. We're going to be together again Friday evening at the Coloring Social. If you've tried coloring and you're like, oh, I don't, it's not my thing, that's okay. Please still come because I will encourage you to bring something that helps you find your flow. Bring your hobby, bring your knitting, bring your embroidery. Sit with us, create, shut your mind down, engage your hands, listen to some beautiful music, and hang out with the best people that are in our lives. So Jennifer and I will plan to see you Friday night, and we just love you. Make it a great day, Sonder family. We'll see you soon.
Me and Fear, we had a thing in 1993. Told me I was wasting time with all these silly dreams. I dated out, she knocked me down every time I tried. But I found joy in my life. Sorrow swept me off my feet in 2009. I took long walks on the beach next to the oceans that we cried. In grief she came and overstayed way longer than I'd liked. But I found joy in my life.